Shit. What was I gonna say? Oh my god. Hello, what's going on? So I have a little bit of a confession to make. I was just about to edit the video for the coilovers and all of that stuff, and realized that I made a very bad mistake. So I bought lapel mics to actually for this whole new setup, new channel, new mics for. Okay, cool, great. And it turns out they are terrible. It sounds like I've got COVID and I'm underwater talking into a microphone, a waterproof microphone. It's that bad. I might even put a little clip in it here or not. What's going on, people? Hope you're well, living the dream. As you've probably seen by the thumbnail and the title, the Civic is getting coilovers. So yeah, what's gonna happen now is that it's kind of a bit of a blessing, because when I was filming it, it was a very busy day. There was a lot of things that kind of went, I don't want to say wrong, there's kind of things that there were hindrances that we had to overcome that day when it came with the installation and everything like that. But there was also things that were beneficial, and I have to give a big shout out to my friend John, who used to have a Civic and actually had these coilovers installed, and yeah, he was really helpful with it. He was awesome. So yeah, big shouts out to him. And yeah, I know this is a different setting. I say in Jay's driveway, but this is actually my setup with my PC in the back there, and the fan blowing on me, and a little model. Look. Ooh. Oh yeah. Anyway, without further ado, let's get into the intro. Now, in regards to the installation itself, there's a few things I would recommend doing to prepare. One of them I didn't do. I bought the product, but I didn't apply it because I was extremely disorganized to read the instructions on the can and essentially missed my opportunity to protect the £912 worth of equipment on the coilovers. Yeah, and that's to weatherproof it, or rust proof it, if you will. So I bought, there's people who buy ACF50 on the forums, on like the Facebook forums, forum groups, if you will, and I couldn't get any delivered to my house for whatever reason. Amazon was just on some weird one, and I couldn't find it elsewhere for a decent price, and I'm not paying £30 for a can of spray when I can get it for half of that elsewhere. It's not possible. So I bought something else. I will try and find it. This, yeah, and I was going to use it, but then I read the instructions, which I don't know if you can see it. You can't see it, don't worry. I read the instructions and it said apply it 15 minutes before you actually use the equipment that you're protecting, and then it also said to leave it to dry. And at this point, you need to understand I'd already taken out the coilovers because I was so happy. I'd had these things for weeks, and I couldn't install it because I was sick for a long time. Not that you guys need to know that anyway. And yeah, I got impatient. I just thought, nah, these are going on now. These are going on now. So I didn't apply it. What I will do is I will jack the car up. I'll take all the wheels off and I will protect it. I will protect the equipment itself before it starts raining and everything like that, so it keeps it all fresh and clean and nice. Yeah, the other thing is, alongside protection, copper greasing where the coil rings are. Lots of people complain that they that they may have bought on Coilovers second hand, for example, which I definitely would have done, by the way, if I'd known A, the mileage of the equipment itself, and B, if they're actually available, because these are really quite hard to come across second hand on FN2s, because they're not common coilovers. They're not. Yeah, copper grease the rings itself, it future proofs you. The same way you would copper grease any kind of bolt you take off your car. Definitely do that. And also another thing, which is something myself and my father did on the fly, is work out your measurements. So I know that loads of people actually measure it from the center, like the center cap of the wheel to the arch, and measure it that way. I didn't do that, I've got to be honest. So we installed it on the car, which was definitely a faux pas because it caused us more work. We installed it on the car, and then we ended up going to seeing that the rear, I didn't adjust the front coil, by the way. I didn't adjust the front strut, the height, the ride height. The way it came is the way it went on, and I'm so glad I did that because it's the perfect height, especially considering I drive with speed bumps. Yeah, it's really good. But the rears were so low. They were so low when it was installed. The wheel was inside the arch. When I took it off my driveway and it kind of settled a bit, it was like, imagine this is my arch. The wheel was like here, so it was lower than the front, and that was never going to work out. So yeah, we had to then pull the car back onto the driveway, unscrew each strut and measure it. So back to my main point, measuring it from right from where the actual rings are to the end of the strut, and then twisting it all the way down. And that's how you adjust the height, by the way. Don't do it by the spring. So you know the spring, and the spring has its own compression ring, if you will, and that adjusts with the height, or you can adjust it with the height. I think you're meant to adjust it with the height. I definitely did. But yeah, that's not what you're supposed to do in any way, shape or form at all. So yeah, the other thing I was going to say as well is that make sure you do not have someone who will remain nameless, a relative, sitting in your driver's seat, changing gear, messing about, because it will cause your hub or your drive shaft, so to speak, to lock up, and then you won't be able to actually put the strut in, and it will cause you about an hour and a half's worth of interruptions, which is great. So yeah, happy days. What other tips were there? Okay, so the other things that I was actually meant to say right from the beginning, I should have said this first, is when shit. What was I gonna say? Oh my god. Yeah, so when you're changing your struts, always jack your car up and use your front axle stands. Front axle stands? What am I talking about? Use your axle stands to keep your car up in the air, and this is strictly for the fronts, because with the rear, once you take out the rear pins at the back, the coilovers themselves will actually, the rear beam itself will drop low, and you can get to the spring, get to the strut, through the boot, everything. Happy days. So yeah, I mean, that's literally it. It's very easy for the rear. Literally took about 10 minutes, no exaggeration. So yeah, that was that. The front, you have to make sure that you use your jack. I actually bought hard race drop links, so adjustable drop links from On a Mission. By the way, big shout out to them. Great prices for second-hand, good quality items, and their service is second to none. So yeah, and if you're not on Facebook for your FN2, I don't know what you're waiting for. You got to do it. Anyway, sidestep. I got adjustable hard race drop links, which I was gonna put in because they're good for like alignment and geometry setups and whatnot. but I have put them on because I don't know how to adjust it. I don't know what I'm doing with them, so I've kept them for whenever that's going to happen, so that all of that can be done at the same time. So yeah, I think that would be my advice. But yeah, I'm just going to quickly talk about the quality of this item because I feel like that's definitely needed. When talking about car parts, right? We all know, if you're a car guy, like new car parts, they bring excitement to you and things like that, and it's always great to like get new parts to put on your car. But I cannot stress to you the sheer quality of these coilovers. Yeah, they weren't lying. The people that recommended these coilovers to me, they were not lying. Like, I've got cinematics and I'll probably overroll them so you can see it. The sheer attention to detail is beautiful. One thing I will say that is annoying, and I didn't know about this until it was installed and my friend John would tell me, is the rear struts, the top part of the strut, really quite long. Yeah, so with that being said, you have to, the caps on the boot that usually cover the strut, they no longer cover the strut. Yeah, so yeah, you're gonna have to either drill a hole so it covers at least the rest of it, and the rest of the strut top, so the rest of the strut at the top pokes through, where you can adjust the stiffness, or you just leave it as it is. For me, I'm gonna drill a hole. I can't leave it all open like that. It's not a track focused car, it's not a stripped car, so it does bug me a little bit like that. What else? Yeah, just going back to what I was saying, the quality is ridiculous. It's not even, it's actually car part porn, man. That's the best way I'll put it. Like, you touch it, you feel the quality, the weight, the paint finish. Yeah, great. And the slogan on the box, I'm looking over there because the box is over there, is for your driving pleasure. They ain't lying. They're not lying. What I will do, because I feel like this deserves its own video, is I will do a review of what it's like to drive an FN2 on Tein coilover springs, or Tein, sorry I keep saying Tein coilover springs, because like I said, that deserves its own video 100%, because it is a night and day difference, spoiler alert. But I'm going to go into detail, I'm going to go into so much detail. Yeah, thank you for watching the video, it is really appreciated. And yeah, if you like it, drop a like. If you don't like it, tell me what I can change, tell me what you disagree with. I do like having debates, and everyone's got an opinion, so yeah, it's good to listen to people, and you only really get better by, you know, taking in more knowledge.